When our own son locked the basement door behind us, I didn't scream. I didn't pound on the walls. I just stood there, holding my husband's hand, trying to understand how a child you raise with love can become someone who forgets your humanity. The basement was cold, not freezing, but damp in a way that settles into your bones. A single bulb flickered above us, casting weak yellow light over old boxes, broken furniture, and memories we hadn't touched in years. I remember William squeezing my hand gently, not tightly, not in panic, just enough to let me know he was still calm. "Haley," he whispered, "don't be afraid." But I was afraid, not of the dark, not of the basement. I was afraid of the silence upstairs, the sound of our son walking away as if we were nothing more than clutter he wanted out of sight. Minutes passed, then hours. No footsteps, no voices, just the hum of pipes and the quiet ticking of time. I sat down on an old wooden chair, my knees weak. My heart ached more than my body ever could. I kept thinking of the little boy who once ran into my arms after school, the same boy who now locked his parents underground. And then William leaned closer to me and said something that changed everything. "Haley," he said softly, "there's something you don't know, something I kept quiet for years, in case one day we needed it." That was the moment I realized this wasn't the end of our story. It was the beginning of a truth our son never expected. My name is Haley. I'm not a dramatic woman. I've lived a quiet life, built on patience, routine, and love. William and I were married for over 40 years. He was the steady kind of man, thoughtful, careful with words, and deeply loyal. The type who fixed things without complaining and listened more than he spoke. We raised one son together, Ethan. He was our miracle child, born after years of waiting, praying, and quiet disappointment. When I first held him, I remember whispering, "You are everything." And for many years, he was. William worked long hours to give Ethan opportunities we never had. I stayed home when I could, took part-time jobs when needed, and made sure our house always felt warm, even when money was tight. Ethan never lacked love, not once. But as he grew older, something shifted, slowly, almost invisibly. He became impatient, dismissive, always in a hurry. When he married and moved back into our home temporarily, we didn't hesitate. We cleared space. We adjusted. We told ourselves family helps family. At first, it was small things, a sharp tone, a door closed too hard, a comment like, "This is my house too now." Then it became bigger. Control of rooms, control of schedules, control of decisions that were never his to make. William noticed before I did. He always did. "Haley," he said one evening, "something isn't right." I brushed it off. "He's just stressed," I said. "He has responsibilities now." But deep down, I felt it too. The slow erasing of our place in our own home. Until the day Ethan stood in the kitchen, arms crossed, and said words that still echo in my mind. "You two spend too much time upstairs. I need space. Go downstairs for a while." I laughed, thinking it was a joke. It wasn't. That evening, he led us to the basement, said it was temporary, said it was better for everyone. And then, I heard the lock click behind us. That's when I understood. This wasn't about space. This was about power. And what Ethan didn't know, what he could never imagine, was that William had been quietly preparing for this moment long before it ever happened. The first night in the basement felt unreal. Not frightening in a loud way, just heavy,
like the air itself was pressing down on my chest. William helped me sit on an old sofa we had stored there years ago. The fabric smelled faintly of dust and time. I wrapped my cardigan tighter around myself and listened. Above us, the house creaked, floorboards shifted, a cupboard closed. Life was continuing upstairs, without us. I kept waiting for Ethan to come back down, to say it was a mistake, to unlock the door and laugh nervously. But the door stayed shut. "Maybe he just needs a few minutes," I whispered. William didn't answer right away. He sat beside me, his hands resting calmly on his knees. "He knows what he's doing," he said gently. That was when fear truly settled in my stomach. The days that followed blurred together. Morning light barely reached us through the small basement window. We had no proper bed, no bathroom access unless Ethan allowed it. At first, he brought food down, left it on the steps without meeting our eyes. "Just for a few days," he said once. "I need things to be quiet." Quiet, as if our existence had become noise. I tried to reason with him. "Ethan," I said softly one afternoon, standing at the bottom of the stairs, "this isn't right. We're your parents." He sighed heavily, like I was a burden. "You're safe. You have everything you need. Stop making this a big deal." The door closed again. William stood behind me, his hand steady on my shoulder. "Come," he said quietly. "Let's sit." I started to feel myself shrinking, not physically, emotionally. I stopped asking questions, stopped knocking on the door, stopped hoping. Each time footsteps passed overhead, my heart lifted for a moment, then fell again. At night, I lay awake listening to William's breathing, steady and calm, too calm. "Why aren't you angry?" I finally asked him one night. He turned toward me in the dim light. "Anger won't help us," he said, "but patience might." I didn't understand what he meant then. Time changes people in quiet ways. I began replaying memories. Ethan as a boy, Ethan at graduation, Ethan on his wedding day. Where had we failed? William noticed my silence growing deeper. "Haley," he said one morning, "this isn't your fault." I shook my head slowly. "We raised him," I whispered. "That means we carry some of this." William didn't argue. He just held my hand. One afternoon, Ethan came down with papers in his hand. "Sign these," he said. I looked at the documents. Property papers, legal language. My heart raced. "What is this?" I asked. "It's just formalities," he replied. "You're not using the house anyway." I felt dizzy. "This is our home," I said quietly. He shrugged. "You're living in the basement. That says enough." William reached for the papers, read them slowly, carefully. Then he looked up. "No," he said calmly. Ethan laughed. "You don't really have a choice." William's voice stayed level. "Yes, we do," he said. Something flickered in Ethan's eyes then. Uncertainty. He left without another word. That night, I cried for the first time. Silent tears. The kind that soak into pillows and never make a sound. William waited until I finished. Then he spoke. "Haley," he said softly, "for years I prepared for a moment like this. I didn't want to believe we'd need it, but I trusted my instincts. I held my breath. There's something upstairs," he said, "something Ethan doesn't know about." My heart pounded. "What?" I whispered. William met my eyes. A file, accounts, legal documents, protection. I stared at him. "You planned for this?" He nodded slowly. "Not this exact moment, but the possibility that one day love might not be enough." For the first time since we were locked downstairs, I felt hope. Small, fragile, but real. Ethan grew bolder over the next few days. He reduced the food, shortened our allowed time upstairs, became colder. But William became calmer, more focused, like a man waiting for the right moment. One evening, Ethan stood at the top of the stairs and said, "I'll decide when you come back up." William looked at him quietly. "No, you won't." Ethan laughed. "We'll see." The door closed again. William turned to me. "Soon," he said. "Very soon."
The night everything changed was quiet, too quiet. There were no footsteps upstairs, no television sounds, no doors opening or closing, just silence. William sat on the edge of the old sofa, his back straight, his hands folded together. He looked calm, but I could feel something different in the air. Not fear, not tension, readiness. "Is tonight the night?" I asked softly. He nodded. "Yes." I didn't ask how he knew. After 40 years of marriage, I had learned to trust his instincts. He had always sensed things before they happened. This was no different. "Stay close to me," he said, "no matter what." Late that evening, Ethan finally came downstairs. He stood at the top of the steps, arms crossed, his expression unreadable. "I've decided something," he said. "You're going to stay down here longer." My chest tightened, but William didn't move. "You've made many decisions lately," William replied calmly. "Some of them will have consequences." Ethan laughed quietly. "You don't scare me." William looked up at him, steady and composed. "I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to give you one last chance." The air between them felt heavy. Ethan turned to leave. That was when William spoke again. "The house," he said, "isn't yours." Ethan stopped. "What?" William stood slowly. "The house, the accounts, the insurance, none of it belongs to you." Ethan's jaw tightened. "You're confused," he said. "I've already—" "No," William interrupted gently. "You haven't." William reached into his jacket and pulled out a small, folded piece of paper. I recognized it immediately. The emergency number, the one he had memorized years ago. While Ethan stared, William dialed. He spoke calmly, clearly. "My wife and I are being unlawfully confined in our own home. Our son has locked us in the basement." Ethan's face drained of color. "You wouldn't," he said sharply. William met his eyes. "I already have." Everything moved slowly after that. Not rushed, not chaotic, just inevitable. Ethan shouted, denied, tried to explain, but the truth doesn't need volume. When the authorities arrived, the basement door was opened for the first time in days. Fresh air rushed in. I felt dizzy, overwhelmed by light and space. One officer asked gently, "Ma'am, are you safe?" I nodded. "Yes," I said, "but we shouldn't have been here." Ethan stood frozen upstairs, his confidence gone. Later, after we were seated in the living room, William asked if he could retrieve something. He went to the study, returned with a folder, thick, organized, prepared. He placed it on the table. "This," he said calmly, "contains the trust documents, property ownership, and legal protections I set up years ago." I stared at him. "You did all this without telling me?" He looked at me softly. "I hoped we'd never need it." The officer nodded as he reviewed the paperwork. "Sir," he said to Ethan, "this property is not yours, and your parents' confinement is a serious matter." Ethan's voice shook. "I didn't mean it like that. But meaning doesn't erase action." That night, William and I slept upstairs, in our bed, in our home. I lay awake listening to familiar sounds, the clock ticking, the wind outside the window. Safe. William reached for my hand. "It's over," he said quietly. I squeezed his fingers. "No," I whispered, "it's changed." The next morning, Ethan came to us. He didn't shout, didn't argue. He looked small. "I didn't think you'd fight back," he said. William's voice was gentle. "We didn't fight," he said. "We stood." Ethan lowered his eyes. "I forgot who you were." William nodded. "So did you forget who you were?" The days after everything happened felt strangely quiet. Not the heavy silence of the basement. This was a different kind. gentle, careful, almost respectful. William and I moved through our home slowly, as if we were relearning it. Every room felt familiar, yet changed. The living room smelled faintly of polish and old books. The kitchen window caught the morning light just the way it always had. But something inside me had shifted. I wasn't broken. I wasn't angry. I was awake. For the first time in a long while, I allowed myself to feel what had happened, not all at once, but in soft waves. The betrayal, the fear, the disbelief, and beneath it all, a quiet grief for the son I thought I knew. William noticed my silence. "You don't have to be strong right now," he said one morning, handing me a cup of tea. "I'm not trying to be," I replied. "I'm just thinking." He nodded. "I know." Ethan didn't come back to the house right away. The space he left behind felt heavy, but also necessary. A few days later, he called. I watched the phone ring for a long moment before answering. "Hello?" I said softly. There was a pause on the other end. "Mom," he finally said. Just one word. It carried years of distance. "I didn't think you'd answer," he added. "I almost didn't," I replied honestly. He exhaled slowly. "I've been thinking," he said, "about everything." I waited. I didn't realize how far I'd gone. I thought I was just taking control. "Control isn't love," I said quietly. Another pause. "I know," he said. "I know that now." Later that day, he came by the house. He stood at the door, uncertain, smaller somehow, not physically, emotionally. William opened the door. Ethan didn't step inside right away. "He's not here to argue," he said. "I just wanted to talk." William nodded. "Then talk," he said calmly. We sat at the kitchen table, the same one where I had once helped Ethan with homework, the same table where birthdays were celebrated and worries were shared. Ethan kept his hands folded tightly in front of him. "I thought because you were quiet," he said, "because you didn't push back, that I could decide everything." I looked at him. Quiet doesn't mean weak, it means patient. His eyes filled, but no tears fell. "I forgot that," he whispered. William spoke then. "Respect isn't something children grow out of, it's something they must carry forward." Ethan nodded slowly. "I'm ashamed," he said. I didn't rush to comfort him. I didn't dismiss his words. "I believe you, but trust takes time." He accepted that. "I don't expect forgiveness right away," he said. "I just want the chance to earn it." In the weeks that followed, Ethan kept his distance, respectfully. He called before visiting. He asked instead of demanding. He listened. And slowly, very slowly, I felt something easing inside my chest. One afternoon, as William and I sat in the garden, he turned to me. "Are you okay?" he asked. I thought about it. "Yes," I said finally. "I am. Not because everything was fixed, but because I finally felt safe. Not just physically, but emotionally." I learned something important during those weeks. Love does not mean enduring everything in silence, and strength does not always look loud. Sometimes strength is knowing when to stand quietly, firmly, and without apology. William had known that long before I did. "I never wanted to use those documents," he admitted one evening. "I hoped we'd never need them." "I'm glad you were prepared," I said. "So am I," he replied. Ethan eventually moved out, not in anger, not in shame, but with understanding. The basement was cleaned, the door stayed unlocked, and every time I passed it, I reminded myself, we survived not because we fought, but because we remembered who we were. time has a quiet way of softening even the sharpest memories. Now, when I think about the basement, I no longer feel fear. I remember the cool air, the dim light, and the sound of William's steady breathing beside me. I remember how close we sat, how his hand found mine in the darkness, how neither of us spoke because we did not need to. We were not alone, not really. Life did not return to how it was before. It became something new. Some days, Ethan visits. He knocks now. He waits. He looks at me when he speaks. Sometimes we talk about small things, the weather, work, ordinary moments. Other times, there is silence, and that is all right too. Healing does not rush. William still makes tea every morning. He still places the cup before me when I ask. His hair is grayer now, his steps slower, but his presence is steady. He never reminds me of what he did to protect us. He does not need praise. His love has never asked for recognition. I once thought love meant sacrifice without limits. I was wrong. Love also means boundaries. It means dignity. It means knowing that even the people we raise must treat us with respect. If you are listening to this and feel unseen, if you feel pushed aside in your own home, if your kindness has been mistaken for weakness, please hear this. Your voice matters. Your safety matters. Your life still belongs to you. Sometimes the people we love the most forget that, and sometimes we must remind them, gently, firmly, without anger. I am Haley. I am a wife. I am a mother, and I am still standing. Not because I fought, not because I shouted, but because love, when it is real, always finds a way to protect what matters most. Love should never trap you, and silence does not surrender.